Welcome to the RC Roundtable podcast, where we discuss the latest RC hobby news, events, model reviews, and a whole lot more.
Fitz is being quiet.
Or frozen.
No, not frozen. You ever have one of those days you wonder, why the hell did I get out of the bed in the morning? Everything was so nice until you get out of bed, and then everything just goes to hell.
Is today one of those days, Fitz?
Yes. Oh, yeah. RC Roundtable, episode 226.
Just tell the listeners what happened about, 10 minutes ago?
It actually started early, now that I think about it. I go to work.
Wait, let me get some violent music out.
I go to work. I'm at work, happy along, and I get a message. Oh, so remember that due date for your project delivery? Yeah, we're going to have to move it up like 2 weeks or more, a month. And I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, you work for the government. Due dates never move forward. They always move back.
This will move
Budgets
forward.
go up. Due dates go back.
I should have known then that I should.
So this will be a quick show, right? You got to get back to work, head back to NASA.
Then I'm thinking, okay, well, all right. So that's okay. I'll do what I have to do, but at least I'll get to record RC Roundtable. No.
So we should point out we're late. We started later than usual, and then whatever I'm about to hear pushed us even.
Now we're later than usual.
And it's all Fitz's fault. So Fitz, tell us why.
Okay. Well, first of all, we couldn't record the normal time because I was out running an errand, and then I get back and find out my computer in the workshop is not cooperating quite right. And it's like, well, I'll go double check the antenna setup because it worked just fine before I did a live show and it worked great. Now it doesn't want to work. And so I go over, fuck with the antenna. I accidentally unplug it from the extension. And like, okay. So I get the ladder. I can replug it back in. And the Wi-Fi is not working at all. Zilch. The computer's not even recognizing that there is a Wi-Fi. I unplug it, plug it back in, nothing. And then I look at the little Wi-Fi antenna thing I just bought like 2 weeks ago, and the light's not on. I have no idea why. I think it just died. And so I walk away, and then I hear, crash, Dunn! Yes, gravity. It's a harsh mistress. So I have this big shelf next to my side door to get into the garage. It just collapsed. I don't know why. Well, I'm going to partly blame Terry, but we'll get to that. So the whole shelf, this is a tall shelf, 70-something inches tall, got a bunch of stuff on it, just collapsed. And it collapsed in a way that I cannot get out the door. And I can't get to the garage door openers because they're right next to the door. So it's blocking my pathway. I'm like, yeah, Lee showing a picture of it.
This is just for my phone.
There's pieces, model boxes, things all over the place.
Yeah, a couple of kits are down below.
Kits, yeah. There was an airplane on top too, EDF. So I was able to grab a broomstick and press the button for the garage door. So I was able to escape out of the main garage door.
Man.
So you had to break your own arm and cut the skin with a pocket knife to escape.
Yeah, to gnaw my own arm off to escape, yes.
Just so you could make it for this podcast. Do these listeners know what Fitz goes through to appease them?
So that's why I'm in my modeling room, messy modeling room, because the garage workshop is a mess. Is a disaster area at the moment.
Oh, man.
And this is why I blame Terry.
Okay, I can't wait to hear this one.
All right. So you said, hey, can you tell me the CG of Bill Griggs' BD-10?
Uh-huh.
And so the BD-10 is on top of that shelf.
Yeah.
And it was on top of the BD-10 was an EDF. So I had to take the EDF down, stick it on the table, grab the BD-10, open it up, take a picture of the contents, and then put everything back up. Everything was fine until I started moving stuff around from the top of the shelf. And after that, it collapsed.
So you had a very delicate balance.
It's your fault. Okay. You upset the balance of nature.
You moved 2 dust particles and everything went crazy.
The straw that broke the camel's back. Well, I did say
Yeah.
thank you, right, for sending me the CG.
Yeah, you did.
And if it makes you feel any better, I'm not just casting that information aside. You can see
Oh, look at that.
work is being done on my BD-10. I still don't know if I'll make it flight ready in time for the Neat Fair, but I've got it here with that intent. So
So I'm probably going to do is that shelf was kind of a plastic one. Apparently, it wasn't up to the job. And I'm looking at these shelves here. I got these nice metal ones. What I may do is completely replace that shelf with a heavy duty metal one and move the plastic one. I actually was about to buy another shelf for my game room so I can put some RC cars and stuff on it because I'm running out of space. So I may put that shelf in the game room because it's lighter duty and then get a heavy duty one for the workshop.
So those foam and balsa airplanes were just too much for that shelf to handle.
I guess so. I don't know why it fell, unless it slipped off. There's a little ridge. It may have slipped off the ridge. I don't know. Because it seemed like it was plenty strong.
I'm thinking Fitz bumped it on his way back into the house. When he was climbing the ladder to work on the Wi-Fi, he bumped it. And yeah, he's just refusing to admit fault here.
There's Fitz's famous temper. He was probably stomping on the ground and slamming doors.
No, he's probably mad because we were just complaining about how bad his video and audio quality were the whole time, and he probably shut that computer off and goes, "No, what do they know?" It's like my Wi-Fi works fine.
I think the adapter died. I'm going to have to double check it, but it had a little light on it. It usually comes on. It wasn't on.
I bought you a box of Cat 6.
Yeah, I know.
Just run the darn wire. Please send your emails to contact@rcroundtable.com. Let's get a petition going. Just tell Fitz to run the damn wire.
Dig.
This is the 21st century. You don't run wire.
Well, you need to, because your Wi-Fi is not working at all.
It was working great. It's the adapter that died.
Yeah.
I see.
You're into vintage RC, you need to be into vintage Wi-Fi or vintage internet.
Anyways.
So can you tell that anything was broken that was on the shelf?
Most of the stuff was in boxes. The only thing that really wasn't in a box was the airplane on top. And that doesn't seem to have been damaged.
Okay, good.
Kind of fell on top of everything, but so we'll see. I haven't had a chance to look at it in detail. I was so frustrated. I just it's gonna have to stay there till tomorrow.
Hey, maybe as a segue, do you think something furry might have caused this incident?
That's not a segue.
Well, I didn't intend it that way. But
I mean, the only similar part is that it's a garage. You stay in there while we're in Fitz's garage talking about a fallen shelf. What else have you had in your garage, Fitz?
Oh, well, as my name alludes to, what was this, a week or so ago?
the Kitten King.
And I was in the garage doing some stuff, and I was actually finishing up. I was leaving, and I heard something. I was like, did I just hear something? I hear it again. Meow. Wait a minute. That sounded like a cat. Meow. I was like, there's something in here. And so I hunted down. It was pretty faint. And it was in the back corner, really visited part of my garage. I found a kitten. And I thought, well, how did a kitten get in here? That's interesting. I must have crawled in or something. And I put it in a box and kind of looked it over and started emailing. I think emailed you guys, right, when I first found it. I said, hey, I found a kitten. And so I decided, well, let me put it in a box, then stick it back in the garage, see if the mother cat comes back. Maybe this was left or something. And I should note that the doors were open a little bit in the garage so something can come in and out. And I went inside for a while, and I come back out. The box is tipped over and in a different location, and the cat's gone. I'm like, uh-huh. And then I hear, meow. I was like, oh, I hear the cat again. And as I listened, I said, wait a minute, that sounds like two kittens.
They're harmonizing.
I thought, that sounds like two different instincts. But this time the kitten wasn't easily found. I actually had to start moving stuff back because there's some stuff in the way behind a table. So I started moving stuff around, and buried back behind one of my workbenches in the back corner, I see one kitten. Then I see another kitten. Then I see another kitten. I'm like, wait a minute. So I go crawl back further back, I see more kittens. Apparently, they were really quiet. Only one or two was making noise. So ultimately, I found 6 kittens, roughly 3 weeks old, I think, 2 or 3 weeks old, in the back. And I'm like, oh, okay, mommy cat got in here. And I think what happened is I had accidentally left the door cracked the previous night or so.
The people door or the big door?
The main door.
Okay.
I had closed the people door, and I'd forgotten I had left the main door cracked open a little bit. Not very much, but maybe about 6 inches or something like that. Sometimes open the door, let some air vent in. If I know I'm going to work in a workshop, I'll open it up, let it vent, and then I'll close it and turn the air conditioner on just to kind of. And apparently that was enough for mommy to throw a bunch of kittens in there. And so I had this box full of kittens. I ended up getting some food for them, something called kitten milk replacement or something like that. To feed them a little bit. It's expensive stuff, man. And so I actually called up our buddy Keith Sparks, Sparky, aka, because he works at Animal Shelter, and he was giving me some advice and stuff. And then I ultimately took actually Lee's advice. I said, well, I think you told me to see if the mommy cat comes back around. So what I did is I put them all back in a box, put in the box. They couldn't escape, but it wasn't too big. Stuck it back in the garage and kind of left for a little bit. And I came back, and now there's 5 kittens. Like, where'd the other kitten go? I looked around, couldn't see it. I'm like, huh. And so I left again, came back about an hour or two later. There's 4 kittens. I was like, wait a minute. I think mommy's coming back. And so I set up a GoPro camera on time lapse on the box with the 4 kittens in there. I think it was 4 or 3 at that point. And then I left, and I come back, and there's 3 kittens, but I'd forgotten to turn the light on, so the GoPro was recording dark. I was like, damn it. So I what was it? I turned the light on this time and left again, and came back, and there was 1 kitten left. And I think I left I can't remember if I looked at the video then or I just waited overnight, came back in the morning, and there was no kittens. Grabbed the video out of the GoPro, and lo and behold, yes, the mommy cat was coming back and grabbing them one by one. It took her about an hour or two between kittens for some reason. Maybe they just shut them away pretty far or what. I don't know what's going on, but mommy cat's not very big. And it's funny, the next couple of days or so, I kept seeing the mommy cat hanging around. I closed the doors, of course, as they can't get back in. But mommy cat, in fact, I was in the kitchen. I see the cat run by, look out the back door. He jumps over the fence, sees me, it just stops, stares at me for a little bit, then runs in the backyard somewhere. So it's been hanging around the house. Right. So I had I was a custodial over half a dozen kittens for about a day.
All right. Do you think she gave birth in there?
No, they look too old, and I would have noticed it way longer because these were based on what I could look up 2 or 3 weeks old, and so I would have definitely noticed a bunch of kittens meowing and stuff before then. And normally the door is closed. I think you just happen to wander in and say, "Hey, this seems like a good spot."
Yeah.
And it's interesting that she took them away, maybe because I opened up the hiding place, so it wasn't really a hiding place anymore. Yeah,
she probably found something she thought was safer. So I used to know somebody who actually wrote questions for SAT and SAT type tests. So if they're listening to this, I'm sure they're using your example. If Fitz had 5 kittens at 5 o'clock and mommy kitten returns every hour, how many kittens are left at 3:30 p.m.?
Well, there's a half a kitten in there somewhere. They were pretty neat. I don't. I should have shown some pictures. There was one that Lee and I were debating whether it was a calico or not, and I posted a picture on Facebook, and another guy says, "Hey, can I have this cat?" I was like, "Kitten." I was like, "It's too late. They're all gone." I was tempted to keep one too, but it's all right. They were still, I think, pretty much needed to be bottle fed. I tried putting some food and some water down, and they had a hard time noticing the water or drinking from it. So
Yeah.
I think they were still a little young, but their eyes were blue, and their eyes were open, and they were meowing, and they had teeth and stuff. So, but that's
All
too
right.
bad.
Well, we'll be right back with more on the Cat Lady podcast.
Yeah. Sorry about the boring with the long kitten story. But
No, I'm glad Mama came back and took care of them. That's a happy ending.
Yeah, that's good. They're off doing the normal kitten stuff. So let this be a warning to you. Be careful about leaving your workshop doors open. You may not know what kind of critters may wander in.
Yeah, right. And multiply.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You guys want to talk about batteries and stuff and missing batteries?
Yes, missing batteries.
Yeah. We got an email a couple days ago from a listener who had an experience similar to you with your BV-141.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Thank you.
Flying a plane, something fell out. They weren't sure what. So they came back, made a nice dead stick landing, and discovered the thing that fell out was the battery. So there was no onboard energy source. And yet they had radio control to land, which is exactly what happened with your BV-141.
Yes, it did.
All right. And so our theory, and we talked to Lucian from Innovative Designs, and I think he corroborated this with us. The freewheeling prop made the brushless motor act as a generator that backfed voltage into the receiver adequate to power it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it. All DC motors can be generators. And so the impressive thing is that the generated power can be backfed through the ESC into the receiver. And apparently and I tested it on the ground, and it does do that. It will do that. If the brake is off. If you have the brake on, it's not going to work. But the brake is off and the motor is big enough to supply sufficient power, and you're moving fast enough, it acts as a generator, can power enough power to and it was impressive in remember I had retracts, so I was able to lower the retracts and fly the plane in.
Yeah, that's probably a big power drain too.
Yeah.
Or at least a surge.
That's pretty good power. Now, this was granted, the BV-141, it has a equivalent, I think a 20cc electric motor equivalent. So it's a big, hefty motor.
Okay.
Swinging a 3-bladed, fairly large, maybe a 14-inch prop, something like that. So it's probably capable of producing a lot of power as a generator. This is not like a 400 class teeny electric motor, but still impressive that it was able to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And so the email we got from Bill, thank you, Bill, for reaching out to us. He said he was flying a Carbon Cub. So I don't know if it was the big one or there's a smaller size too. And I don't know if it matters, but it sounds like he's also going to do some testing like you did, but maybe with a leaf blower.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to run a bunch of common used ESCs and see if they all do it or if it's just certain brands that can do that.
Yeah. Did you try turning the brake on and off during your testing to see?
I did not, no.
All right, that would be interesting.
I'd imagine it'd be really hard to do with the brake on because it would break. The prop wouldn't spin.
Yeah. I'd have to write down an algorithm or something to wrap my brain around it, but it makes sense that way.
And usually the brakes are done by basically short-circuiting the motor, for lack of a better term. And so it acts as a braking effect.
All right. Interesting.
But
Lee,
that's interesting that somebody else was able to do that. That's pretty cool.
I think Lee's battery fell out.
Yes, is that anything?
Yes.
Okay.
I have not been asked for my opinion. Nothing has come up that I feel requires a humorous joke attached to it. There you go.
We should put disclaimer.
I think the PSA would be just do a better job of not letting your batteries fall out.
Yeah. I was thinking that.
Or
Don't try
Velcro.
this at home.
Yeah, but it's still an interesting little science experiment or discovery. I'm not sure what it is, but it's...
Terry, have you had a battery come loose from flight? I've had a Thunder and Lightning fly, and the battery came off the Velcro side, and it was just dangling underneath, but it was right at the CG. So basically, I just had it flutter down. So no issues. I mean, I still had power.
Yeah, I've had a few that did like you described, where it's just hanging by the wire and you can still make a landing. I remember on one of the early versions of the T28, I did an outside loop or something, and it separated connector and all, and it kind of killed my airplane, and I couldn't find the battery. This was out at the JSC field, and they've got the grassy area out past the concrete. And a few weeks later, the lawnmower found that battery. And thank goodness somebody was out there when it happened, because it did try to set the field on fire. And I had, only other one I can think of, same location, I had this plane that was kind of a warm liner, fiberglass fuselage, built up balsa wings, and a folding prop. And it was fast and aerobatic, but you couldn't dive with the power on because it would overspeed the prop and it would throw a blade. And that's exactly what happened. I was testing that theory that you couldn't dive under power and threw a blade. And if you've ever thrown a blade on a prop, and it's typically going to happen on a folding prop, but the imbalance makes it shake apart in an instant. It's a yard sale in a flash. It's a cloud of dust in the sky, and faster than you can blink. And that's what happened with this. Parts were just fluttering down after that. And I think I did find that battery. But yeah, bad juju.
You reminded me, I once saw a RC helicopter lose a blade in flight.
Oh, man.
Oh, it was, what wasn't destroyed in the air was certainly destroyed when it hit the ground, but it was really violent when that happened.
Yeah. What do they call it when one tips over on the ground and starts flopping around? Like the chicken dance? Or,
yeah, chicken dance, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this wasn't the chicken dance. This was the uranium-238 dance, because it just exploded.
Yeah. Man.
It self-destructed.
Now, see, there's your segue, Terry.
For what?
The next one, the next item on our list.
Oh.
Exploding.
Yeah. So let's do one more thanks to Bill. Bill, thank you for reaching out to us. Let us know what your experiments come up with, and we're interested to hear if there's any difference from what Fitz found with his testing. But speaking of exploding things hitting the ground, ay. And Lee, why don't you give us the sad story on this one?
If you haven't seen it already, folks, I forget. I think, Terry, you sent it to us this morning, and then I spoke to...
Yesterday.
Yeah? Oh, yesterday? Yesterday. And then I talked to our buddy Andy in Florida, and then I've talked to several people since, but there was I think you sent us a Facebook link, correct?
Yeah, there was a post in some group that had a link to a news channel or newspaper article about
right.
it.
Yeah. So I found the best video on TikTok, but there was a pilot out in California. Do you remember the name of the event? Something Fire in the Sky?
That sounds it, yeah.
Sounds like a UFO thing.
Should have called it Fire on the Ground.
You know,
And actually, you know what? We should not make fun because people were affected by this. So I'll stop making fun of it. But
I wasn't trying to make fun. I'll be honest with you. Fire in the Sky.
Yeah, shouldn't make. This was an event in the south side of the San Francisco Bay Area.
okay.
Yeah, it's Watsonville Airport open house, Fire in the Sky. It was Saturday, the 30th, August 30th, in case you guys are looking it up. And we don't know the details of the event, so we don't know how this transpired. Fitz and I may have a conversation here because we do RC demos for a large air show in Houston called Wings Over Houston at Ellington. But someone was flying a large Rebel turbine jet. He took off, don't know which direction. All I know is when he took off, that aircraft went towards the sun. It was above the sun. But in my opinion, the guy turned into the sun and it immediately looked like he got disoriented. The effect was he started going downwind, rolled, stopped, rolled, stopped, inverted, straight down, it looked like full power into a neighborhood. What we come to find out, though, is that this jet made it through someone's window. Actually, it cut through an umbrella in the patio, went into the window, and it actually injured a man seriously, and I think a woman as well. I think her injuries were less, but the man who was inside the house, I think he was sent to the hospital. So the problem is we had a jet injure someone at an air show. Was it official? Some of these, we don't have the answer, but the video was pretty scary. And again, Lee's opinion here is this appeared to be pilot error with flying into the sun and losing orientation. In the video, the jet is pretty darn tiny and very black. I could not tell, except to just know from experience as a pilot and seeing how he took off, just kind of knew which direction he was going. I think anybody else who was watching probably didn't know what was up or down. And in fact, if you watch the video, there's a guy next to him who had his hand in front of the sun trying to see it. And they all seemed surprised that it went down. They were like going, oh, they weren't doing anything. They just watched it disappear. But that was the jet crash that happened, and unfortunately, someone was injured.
Yeah, like you said, 2 people were injured and a significant amount of property damage too. So you sent me that TikTok link, and my initial response was just like you said. It seems like they got disoriented and flew it into the ground. I've watched it a couple times since then, and I'm open to other interpretations because it was pretty high. And it's not like they flew around. This was their first orbit after taking off. They were on the downwind leg just after taking off.
Yeah, it was like seconds after taking off.
Yeah, and they were pretty high, but you can see, just like you said, they do like a half roll and then another half roll. It seemed very intentional because it wasn't like drifting. It was snap to this and stop, snap to this and stop. So it looked like they were doing intentional maneuvers, and then it starts diving to the ground, and there's no more of that. So, and they were pretty high. So it was a couple seconds once they started that dive before they hit the ground. It seemed like if they were disoriented, they would have had time to at least make some maneuvers to try to recover from what was clearly a dive at that point. So I don't know. It doesn't matter what happened at this point. I don't know that either. But it's not good for the people that were affected, and it's certainly not good for our community.
Fitz, you have a response?
Accidents happen. That's part of the life and the hobby. We try to mitigate these kind of situations best we can. I don't know what position we're in the airport, what kind of fail-safe the jet may or may not have had, if it had lockout or what. And in fact, one of the things they really stress for you is to program in all kinds of fail-safes into turbines, so that if you lose radio, that it at least shuts the engine off and maybe neutralizes the controls, that kind of stuff. So, but everything we do has a certain amount of risk. And so the question is, what are the consequences? Is there liability here in this? Is there does the jet operator need a lawyer at this point? Or, I don't know California law, because California is, probably a little different than a lot of other states. But, people were injured. And hopefully the person was at least an AMA member to have some protections.
We don't know. We don't have enough information. And also wasn't an official RC demo hour time.
So I had a question on that a little bit is, if you do a demo like that, do you typically get special permissions from the AMA or some coordination with the airport to authorize that kind of stuff?
It should be sanctioned.
So they would consider that a sanctioned event to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question was it a sanctioned event? I don't have any information. I work for the AMA, but that's not my department, so I can't give you guys any more data. But that's going to be coming up.
All right.
But
yeah.
You mentioned something. Accidents happen. Yes, they do. Well, this jet crash happened, but a couple of days earlier, we had the Polish Air Force pilot, right, crash at was it Radom? Is that the name of the air show? But if you maybe you guys have seen this air show, but this guy does a loop during practice, full afterburner. It just didn't look like he had enough altitude, like at the top of the loop. So I don't know what he was thinking. And this is where you question was it an altimeter issue? Usually they know how high they have to be. So did he fly the jet from somewhere else and didn't adjust? I mean, there's all those kind of questions. But clearly did not have enough room to complete that loop. But have you ever seen a loop in full afterburner from beginning to end?
I don't know.
That was surprising to me.
Yeah, especially in a downwind. Of course, going up and maybe over the top.
Up, sure, but coming down?
Coming down, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It might get really mushy unless it was really low airspeed or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Let's be careful out there. So for you, Fitz, the concern I have is, unfortunately, every time there's some tragedy in this world, there's a knee-jerk reaction by the next group or police force, whatever, to say, well, we shouldn't let that happen again. So my concern would be, could this possibly shut down the RC demo for next month's Wing Over Houston? Because we have turbines there. One of our good friends, Barry, he's one of the pilots, flies great, Don't think he's, let's knock on wood, don't think they've ever had any problems. I have seen a dead stick there and they landed fine, but is that going to cause the people at Ellington to shut down the RC demo?
Don't know. I can't read minds. I do know they've typically had a very good relationship with the air show runners.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, maybe that's something. But yeah, but it doesn't mean that they couldn't say, maybe the risk benefit reward is too high. Or at least with certain types of airplanes, then maybe they'll limit it to non-turbines or something.
Well, let's hope they open up a conversation. Let's cross our fingers they don't.
You would hope that it initiates a conversation to make sure they are doing the right things to mitigate the risk and go from there.
Yeah. And of course, if you guys have comments, thoughts on this, send us an email, contact@rcroundtable.com. Or if you see this post come up on Facebook, feel free to leave a comment.
Yeah, if you know details we haven't mentioned. And let's at least look on the bright side here. How heavy do you think that jet was? 30 pounds? I have no idea what jets weigh.
I don't think it was that much. Maybe
all right,
20.
let's say it's 20 pounds. A pointy jet literally flew into a crowd of people and nobody got killed. And I think that was certainly a possibility. So I'm glad that nobody died because of this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, these type of things are still very rare, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure the pilot feels terrible.
Yeah. Nobody wants that to happen.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I think because it's such unusual, that's why it got a lot of press.
Yeah.
Model airplane crashes into house.
Well, like Hodges when his B-29 went into the grounds.
Yeah. Nobody was injured in that, right? It just weaved its way through people somehow. So, yeah.
Or a B-17 flying between me and Fitz.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm thinking that several times I almost got hit at SAE events too.
Yeah. You'd have been buried in.
First rule of SAE events: we don't talk about SAE events.
All right. Well, that wasn't very much fun to talk about. So anyway, sincerely, we hope that everybody who was affected by this comes out on the other side with in good shape, pilot and victims included. So I hope we learn more about it before too long. The details are just kind of sketchy right now. So we'll see. Speaking of flying.
Yes.
Have you guys been flying recently? Together?
Maybe.
All right. Why don't you tell me about it?
I don't know. Lee, you've been quiet. You take the lead.
I just talked about a very sad thing. It's your turn.
So you should be happy to talk about a happy thing.
Okay. So Fitz came over to my house last Friday. I invited him over, took him to dinner. What a nice guy I am. Filled him up with Italian food, but I basically just needed a second pair of eyes and a full-size brain to come look at this P-38. The gear doors have just been boggling me, and here's the funny thing. For those of you who have been listening to the show, you know my woes, my good and the bad days with the P-38 that I'm building, the Legend models P-38. Also known as a Nexus or formerly VQ. Put part A, part B glue, fly, stay away from prop. And the gear door instructions just I could not process it in my head. I could not see how adding 2 stupid nylon hinges to this door that's curved with a curved fuselage could properly open or close. I couldn't do it. And so finally I gave up, and I think Fitz just knew I was struggling. So Fitz kindly came over, he looked at the thing, and that son of a bitch put 2 nylon hinges in my gear door, and it worked. It's just son of a gun. And I guess I had to get over that hurdle. So thank you, Fitz, for just, hand holding me through that. I will unfortunately say what bothers me is that after you did that and I saw how you hooked up the hinge, I did end up finally gluing it and working out the thing. But darn it, if I still didn't get CA in that hinge, even though I oiled the heck out of the joint and double checked everything, so there's a little pop every time you get to this one point, it's click. It's just.
Well, I'm surprised you CA and not epoxy.
The epoxy was on the one side where I could get to the hinge, but there's no way to really epoxy into that small groove. Okay. So I then CA'd that, but I digress. The door opens and closes with a Metal Gear servo. The nose wheel is done. I even drilled a set screw that I needed. This gear, oddly enough, and I see in photos, people have purchased this gear for this plane, has a hole in the shaft for putting a set screw. Mine was missing. So I was able to drill and tap the set screw. So I'm pretty much set for the nose gear.
Oh, the hole was missing? I thought you meant the set screw was missing.
The set screw and the hole. Like there was no, so the shaft just slid in and out. That's
much for quality control.
Yeah. So, but I fixed it. So the good news is these are those little things that get to you. But everything seems to be working on that. I started working on the main gear doors, and you hinged one, Fitz, thank you. And then I was really encouraging him to do the other one. He was like, no, you lazy ass. It's your job. You do the other one. So I did. So both of the mains now open and close pretty smoothly. However, I have not figured out how to put the servos in, Fitz. I'm going to have to try some Blanton's whiskey and see if that opens my mind to some new ideas. But that's the one last hurdle I have for the gear doors. But there was progress. So thank you, Fitz, for coming over Friday. And we hung out, watched a movie, and then Saturday morning we went over to Scobee. And now you can take it from there, Fitz.
Yeah, what the hell did I do with Scobee? 2 things. So I pulled out the old Kyosho Zero with the Enya 4-stroke. Hadn't flown in a while. And I also brought out the new review model I'm doing of the Seagull models.
P51.
Yeah, from Legend Hobby. Yeah.
You said the old Kyosho Zero. That's the one you talked about last time that you just got, right? So
No, I've had it for years.
I thought
he just fixed the ignition, the glow starter, whatever.
I had to fix it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm confused, but go ahead.
Yeah, I've had it for quite a while. I got it at Lee Swap Meet, his club Swap Meet some years ago. And it was really, it's the old Kyosho Zero with a fiberglass fuselage, retracts. The guy had an Enya 4-stroke in it. I just kept it in there. It's my second Kyosho Zero. The first one was one of my early electric conversions. It flew pretty good despite being a little overweight, but it crashed because it had catastrophic structural failure inside. Holding all the servos. So, but this is a nice looking model. I think it might need a little bit of nose weight, but it's just neat to have a little 4-stroke on it. Although when I got home, I noticed it sounded a little weird. I was like, I wonder how the bearing is going. So I was playing around with it, and lo and behold, there's a lot of play. The front bearing is going. So I'm going to have to order some new replacement bearings. I went over to Boca Bearing, and they have some bearings for that particular engine. They have a nice way you can search. It's an Enya 4-stroke, and there's like half a dozen different choices of bearings. You got the low budget. I just need a bearing, and you've got the I want my titanium encased ceramic sealed self lubricating bearings or something, whatever it is. It costs more than the engine, but so that's a neat thing. But what was really neat was what was really interesting was that P51 Passion Wagon. That plane has been one of the more challenging reviews. And not because of the plane itself is fine, is I'm having just really quirky engine issues with it. And I've had a bunch of flights on it, and I finally seem to have gotten it tuned in well. The first flight, it was going blah, 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 blah. It stayed running, but it was blah, 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 blah. It's like, son of a... So it was just running really, really rich. So I brought it in, leaned it out a bit, put the drop tanks on it, flew it out, took it off again. At first, it was doing a little bit of blah, 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 but not as much. And then it kind of just leaned out quite nicely, and it was running pretty good. And dropped the tanks just right nicely and zipping around. I was like, hey, this is pretty good. I'm like, okay, well, let me just do a power climb, and I think maybe I'll land it. So I do a low pass, pull up to vertical, bad, dead stick. I was like, no. So, put the nose down immediately, try to come in and went to the downwind. I'm like, I don't know how well this thing glides. Let me cut the pattern a little short. When I noticed looked like I was going to make the runway, dropped the gear and dropped the flaps a little bit, and it just floated all the way past the end of the runway into the grass. It was like, oh my God, bye-bye. This thing flies better than it should. And it's kind of a floater, it feels pretty heavy. And it just floated, I don't know, ground effects or what, way past the threshold of the runway. It did a decent landing in the grass, but that grass was really, really rough out there. So it flipped over and landed on the tail and popped the tail off. So snapped off the vertical. But other than that, it wasn't damaged. In fact, it's already repaired. I've already fixed it, the vertical, and glued it back on, but still it's kind of annoying. But turns out, looks like I ran out of gas on it. So I had flown those 2 flights. I had never refilled the tank. First flight was running a little rich, and I don't think I even filled the tank all the way up in the first flight. I think I did like 8/10, 3/4, a little more 3/4. And also the tank, I think I had a little bit of a leak that I didn't notice until I got back home. One of the fittings popped off on the top. And I'd done some. Oh
my God, Fitz! I just remembered something too.
What?
We talked about this, thinking I was there, thinking you ran out of fuel. But do you remember you had gear problems in the first flight?
Oh, that's right, the gear problems. I forgot about that too. Yeah.
But do you remember you had that guy helping you lift it up, and when he lifted it up, he poured all the fuel out? Do you remember?
No.
The gas was leaking. He put it on its nose.
The gas was leaking. Yes. That was probably for that loose fitting that I didn't notice.
That's it. That's where we lost it. Because I was telling you, it's like, I don't remember you adding more fuel.
I didn't. Yeah.
And when he lifted that up for you, because the gear was seizing up, I saw all that fuel pumping out. We didn't even think about it. It must have been a lot more than we thought.
Yeah, that must have leaked a lot of fuel out. Because one of the fittings for the top vent, not the main fuel sucker, but like their fueling vent had popped loose. And so if it was up in the vertical or upside down or something, it would have leaked out quite a bit of fuel. So I apparently took off with very little fuel.
At the end of our shows, we need to have lessons learned this podcast or this episode. Strap your battery in real tight. Make sure you have fuel in your engine before you take off.
Yeah. So thank you for reminding me. I forgot about the gear. So in the first flight, the gear wouldn't retract. One wouldn't retract. It would retract partially and then stop, and then it would come back out. It was consistent, but only partially. What the heck? So in the field, I took the gear out, and turns out a piece of the wood debris had somehow got wedged in with the gear. So I don't know where it came from or what, but just a little tiny piece of sliver of wood. I don't know if it was from a repair or blood got loose or whatever. And so when I popped that out, then the gear was working just fine again. So it just got chunked up in the mechanism. So that plane has been one of my, and the first, I should notice that the early flights, it's funny because we flew it a couple times with Lee, the first maiden flights. It was a little rich, but it ran okay. And then subsequent flights, I started having issues. It turns out it was apparently vapor lock, because the cowl doesn't have a whole lot of cooling in it, and the carburetor was getting hot air off the muffler because the rear exhaust. And so I ended up making a little shield plate, whatever you want to call it, divider between the muffler and the carburetor. And it generally seemed to fix the problem, but I was having issues trying to get it properly leaned out. And I had to redo the plumbing a little bit. Was there something else? Oh, and then I did a flight and the muffler came loose. That wasn't you, Lee. That was another flight before you got it, Lee. So I finally fixed all those problems. finally get a good flight, and I run out of fuel. And
So if the tank was leaking, is that part of the entire system where you would have had different back pressure or pressure into the tank?
Or maybe dumping fuel back through the carburetor. He had it on its nose. So it's possible it was feeding fuel back through the carburetor.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just wondering if that could also be a cause for why it was running rough.
It shouldn't. The gas engines have a pump. There's no muffler pressure tap, you want to call it.
Okay.
But it does have a pump carburetor, so it shouldn't make a difference.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is a relatively new engine. I think I might have had the low end a little bit too lean because it was some issue transitioning. So after I got it back home, fixed back up again, I ran it out in the backyard, and I tweaked the settings a little more, and now it sounds really good.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just one of those things that everything's conspiring just to be a pain. Because I usually don't have this much problems with these engines. It's the first time I really had an issue. It's been a real learning experience.
All right. Now, we should have a board in the background here where we keep track of this stuff. Dumb things we've done.
Yeah.
And at the end of each year, we can award the dumbest thing. A couple years ago, I would have won for letting my transmitter battery die. But I feel like you're probably a top contender so far for this year, Fitz.
It's always these unexpected or weird things that, I have to think about some of the other weird things that happen.
He's ironing them all out. That P-51 is going to be just awesome in, a couple more flights.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure the fin doesn't fall off.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's check those glue joints.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to add one more aircraft to the flight fun we had on Saturday at Scobee. I brought out the vintage, classic, old, how do we call it? The E-Flight F-15 Eagle.
Oh, the big one.
The pure styrofoam F-15. Not that EPP stuff.
What is it called? The beer cooler?
Yeah, the beer cooler F-15. Thank you. So I've been working on that as an RC rescue. The last time I took it out, we had that fun video where, I loved segueing with Terry asking, so did you run a watt meter on it? I was like, what do I do what you're talking about, Terry? So in the last discussion about it, my goal was to replace the two batteries that I had been using, two 4S 2200s, with one larger pack. And to do so, I had to move stuff around. And to make this rather quick, the solution I came up with was I 3D printed a small little vent bracket to hold or at least keep the two ESCs upright in the back. They had been laying on top of each other. It's stock. I think they're kind of Velcro to the side, but these are bigger ones now that I've been running 4S. So one thing I wanted to make sure is I had enough air passing through. So I had made this just dummy little rig. It's on our Facebook page. That worked flawlessly. And to get the CG right, I wanted to move the battery away from the nose because there was one in the nose and one in the fuselage. And maybe you guys, since you're rocket scientists, what is it called? Because we're talking about CG, and if you have two massive weights at the end, it's hard to pivot because of moving the mass. But if you have something centered in the heaviest part is in the middle, it's easier to move. Do you know what that's called? What motion or movement that's called?
Angular momentum, I would think.
Okay, let's go with that. So because I had a 4S 2200 in the nose.
Hold on, Fitz is dying to correct me here.
Oh, okay, please, Fitz.
I'm thinking moment of inertia.
Yeah, probably that too.
That too. Let's put them all together. Gravity. Let's put gravity in there.
Well, so anybody should know it's Mr. Engineering Physics Terry here.
So
we'll look it up.
And we're going to get tons of email. Again, send that to Terry. So knowing, because I've flown planes, not because I'm a scientist, but I know that if you put a heavy mass up front of the nose and you're trying to take off, it requires more force to lift that nose up. Well, I had a 4S 2200 in the nose to work with that. So I ended up taking the servo and the nose gear and moving all that equipment up a bit. Not too much. I don't think you can really tell that the nose gear is forward about 2 inches. But now that I have a little, had more room, I could put the battery back. I could tell she took off a lot easier. Like that nose pops up off the ground. but I picked up an HRB. Is that correct, Fitz? Is that the brand?
Yeah, HRB batteries.
HRB 4S 4500. Put it right smack dab in the middle. CG was perfect. Took it out with Fitz. Had a blast. Like, except for touching up the plane, like, that's all I need now. It just flies so well. That is a great flying plane. If you can get your hands on one of these.
All I need is this lamp and this plane.
If you can get your hands on a beer cooler F-15 Eagle, boy, they are just solid flyers. Just bank and yank. No rudders. The nose wheel is what steers you on takeoff. Never had an issue. But I really am glad we got that, and I'm glad I did the upgrade. It's been a fun plane to fly. So there you go. Yay. Happy day.
So you upgraded the fans on that.
ESCs, 2.4S. And, we had a broken servo, and I remember I lost one of the elevons. So,
Not in a flight, did you?
No, I dropped it. right on the list. Oh, by the way, Terry, for your list, you got to put me dropping a ladder on my Pilates quarter.
Yeah, that's ancient history.
But so new motors, new ESCs, better batteries, fix the CG, touch it up, flies great.
All right.
So you said you designed that ESC holder yourself?
I'm not taking credit for that. I Tinkercaded that bad boy using a mesh piece that just comes with Tinkercad. It's like I typed the word mesh. It came up with this piece. I just stretched it and then made it through 4 pieces touch each other, and they just fall in there. And the nice thing is there's enough air. I think to me that was a huge success because normally they were very hot to touch. And everything seemed just above warm after the flight. And by the way, that said, when I came down after my first flight, I still had 30% battery left, which was way more than I had when I did my LVC flight the previous time. So
yeah, you were flying it for quite a while too.
I did, yeah. So I bumped it up to a 4-minute flight. So
wow, for EDF, that's really good.
It was, and I was being gentle with it. I wasn't going crazy. But it sure looks good on passes, doesn't it? I mean, she just holds solid down the flight line.
Well, you sounded like you were embarrassed by taking an existing design and converting it to your use. That's should be your goal with engineering. Yeah. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. Just stand on someone else's shoulders.
Exactly. That's engineering 101. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Well, let me try this again. This mesh piece was just a square, not tall at all, just like a wall. Think of a wall with holes in it. And so I took 3 walls and put them up vertically, put 1 wall on the ground, and then attached them, 3D printed it on my new Bamboo Labs A1 with Pet G, because I was telling Fitz, sorry, we had to talk about this. I asked you guys, it's like, how hot does Pet G melt or something like that? And then you basically said, Lee, if you melt PETG, you're running the ESCs too hot. So there's the test.
Yeah.
So no melt, pass.
All right.
So don't give yourself more credit. I mean, you took tools in your toolbox, quote unquote, and you built this thing. So that's how, even experienced draftsmen will do that. They'll take stuff that's built into the CAD program to, make, for example, threads. They're not going to hand design the threads. You just pull the thread maker out of the pull down menu and says stick thread here, and that kind of stuff. So
there's no awards for over engineering anything.
Yeah.
Don't make a 3.3 millimeter bolt. Keep it round, rounded numbers.
You should stick that up on Thingiverse or something.
There you go.
No, I think just sharing it with you guys was fun enough.
All right.
Okay.
No, I don't know if we talked about it. I don't think we talked about it. Did we do anything for National Model Aviation Day, which would have been 3 weeks ago now? Fitz is shaking his head no.
I don't remember. Did we fly?
I had to take a sick day.
Was it in the middle of the week, wasn't it?
I may have told Saturday. You guys.
August 16th?
Yeah, I took a sick day because my mama was not feeling well, so I did not get to fly that day.
Okay. Well, I did fly. My club just had an informal get-together. We were calling it a Warbird Fun Fly Day, but in reality, the weather moved in around lunchtime, so a handful of us were there in the morning, and we flew around for a bit, had a good time, and then the rains came. So we got several flights in, but I didn't hear from you guys, so I was curious what you might have done.
I think that was the same day as the Richardson swap meet, which we didn't make it to.
Was it?
Yeah. Okay. What did I do that day? Saturday? I think I just worked around the workshop, just working on stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
But did I tell you that the AMA is looking to call it National Model Aviation Month?
I thought that already happened, I thought.
Well, the goal is for next year. I don't think we could officially change it, being that we already had Model Aviation Day shirts and everything. So right. I think the official forward-moving thought process is Model Aviation Month. So there you go.
And on that note, my January is now my birth month. So we will celebrate all 31 days. And there are gifts each day, and I expect an increase in value.
So there's like an Advent birthday calendar for you?
Sort of. Oh, probably a little higher in status than that. Even.
See, if you do it the right way, you say you start with $1, and then you double that to $2, you double that to $4, and then just keep working out the rest of the month for you. Cash only.
Yeah, no big deal. Just keep it casual, but yeah, I need something every day. Just kidding. So that's what I did here. Model Aviation Day. It was nice. And this coming weekend, so we're recording this on September 3rd. So September 6th, also a Saturday, we're having another fun fly we're calling Willie Fest. And that's in honor of one of our members, Will, who does tremendous benefits for the club. He mows the lawn all the time. He's always hosting combat events, and he's one of the trainers with me that trains new pilots. So he's always helping us out. So this event is in honor of him, and we're going to do lots of fun stuff. It's like a fun fly, but not a competition fun fly. So we're going to have a limbo pole set up for airplanes, that is. And there'll be a food truck there. We're going to do balloon pops and all sorts of stuff. So if anybody hearing this, go ahead, Fitz.
Just the way you said it, is he going to do a balloon pop with the food truck?
So the commas are implied. We're going to have a food truck, comma, a balloon pop event, comma,
okay.
A limbo pole. I think lots of streamers for towing around and aiming at each other. So just different types of things like that. Yeah. I've heard rumors that a paintball gun may show up. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's just supposed to be a fun day for us to do our stuff, for the community to come out and see what we do, and just have a good time and celebrate Will and all the good things that Will does.
So, good.
Yeah, great. I'm looking forward to it.
Will better appreciate it.
Oh, he does. He does. So that's what's going on with me this weekend. And then Monday, I am preparing to hit the road because Tuesday, yeah, Aaron and I are crawling in my car and we're going to log some miles heading towards Peaceful Valley Campground in Downsville, New York. Because that's where...
Hey, I'm going there.
Yeah, but not on Monday, you're not.
I'm going there.
On Tuesday, I'm leaving. We should arrive Wednesday sometime in the afternoon. And then you guys will be there Thursday. And it'll be fun.
It's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Why are we not more excited, Fitz?
I don't know what to say. We're on our way. I'm going to be there. Actually, I'm going to be there first, right? I'll be there before you are, Terry.
Oh, I don't know when you're leaving.
I'm flying it on Sunday.
Oh, you'll be the first one there then.
Yeah. So I meant to ask you about something too. Maybe I'll do it offline, but about our accommodations, since I'm going to be there a little earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to fly in because I mentioned before I have family in the next state over, so I want to go hang out with them for a couple of days before the event. But I was told that starting Wednesday they start doing stuff.
Yeah, I think there's people there probably as early as Sunday. The host club is there setting things up, I believe.
They're setting up
for sure by Wednesday. There's people there.
Yeah, somebody said they're doing something Wednesday night, tent crawl or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, yeah, it could be. I'll be there Wednesday. So
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you were there Thursday.
No.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
Lee's
you guys
Thursday.
will be there Thursday. We'll be
You're
there
Wednesday.
Wednesday afternoon.
Don't forget to pick me up, Fitz.
Okay.
He's going to be out there Thursday playing. Holy crap! I'm supposed to get Lee. I'm
like
trying
we're
to
missing
call.
something.
No one's answering because there's no service.
Was there something I was supposed to do? I don't know. Never mind. Okay, so I'll
Fitz is going to wake up in the middle of the night Thursday night and be leaning over. Just like,
So,
my Uber cost $5,000 to get here.
so I'll make it a point to be there at least sometime Wednesday afternoon. I think at least.
So you're popping in before you go to get Lee?
What? Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, because I thought you were going early just to see family. So, all right. That'll
I
be
am.
fun.
Me too.
But I'm getting there Sunday, so that gives me at least Sunday afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, maybe half a day
I'm
Wednesday.
done with the family.
So, yeah,
I'm drinking on Wednesday.
I guess he's a little bit of family, a few friends, maybe a friend or two, kind of hang out. So
All right. Well, good. We get more Fitz than I expected.
maybe we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, he's
try.
not enough Lee. He's a little bit more Fitz.
We'll see. Of course, there's another thing I won't get into it, but I might have to venture off too at some point for half a day.
All right.
Something if I miss, I got to see that's in the area.
Is this the Star Trek thing you were talking about?
I can either confirm or deny it's a Star Trek thing,
Okay.
but it's a Star Trek thing.
Yeah. Fine.
So,
Oh, come on.
Terry, have we already discussed what you're going to bring for us to fly? Can we make requests?
Yeah, you guys keep asking, and I keep telling you just be happy with what you get.
I'm
You
happy
get what
whatever
you
you
get and you
bring.
don't throw a fit.
I'm not going to be so picky. Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, and honestly, I haven't figured out what I'm taking yet. I've got a short list, and there's planes on it. But because me and Aaron are going, we're making sure we have room for all of our stuff. And also, we're realizing we have to take a lot of bedding because the cabin doesn't include any sheets. And
Really?
doggone it, it gets cold there at night. So we got to actually take blankets and stuff too. So
There's no heater in that
pillows.
cabin?
Well, I found out today there actually is a heater in one room, and it's a multi-room.
Oh, it's
cabin.
multi-room. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm not sure how effective that is, but a heater at all is an improvement over any night I've ever spent at that campground.
So does it
So
mean
we'll see.
are we going to need to stop by Walmart and grab some sleeping bags or something? Or
Maybe. I'm going to let you know how much I can fit, and I'm going to take as much as I can to help cover you guys too, but we'll
Well,
see.
Fitz will be able to tell me he's going Wednesday. So when he
yeah,
comes
there
to
you
pick
go.
me up Thursday, he can
good
say,
point.
hey, this is what we're going to bring because I'm not
Already-
sleeping one more night in that cabin.
one more night at hard floor or whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to buy 10 boxes of feet warmers and stuff.
Yeah. And earplugs. Don't forget your earplugs.
Wait, what?
You
Okay.
snore like the abominable
Oh.
snowman.
Oh, yeah.
I snore like something, and I'm told I snore anyway, or I gasp when I sleep. And Lee, you told me you snore, but we were in
I do.
separate rooms in Muncie. I haven't heard it. But I'll talk
No,
to
it's
Cindy.
separate. It's true, but I was also in the basement in your house, so
That's true. Yeah.
you knew exactly where to keep me.
But I've shared a room with Fitz before, and I know what that's all about.
So I'm going to ask if you're bringing certain planes. How's that? Can I ask that? Like, have you made a list yet?
Sort of. I can give you categories. I know I'm bringing a
Electric?
float plane or two.
Electric?
It's all electric. A float plane or two. I'm undecided on a night plane. I've got a couple night planes to choose from, so I may bring one of those, and I'll bring one or two planes for flying in the daytime. I'm seriously trying to whittle down how much I bring, just because I don't want to be obligated to fly everything that's there.
We're not getting to where I'm trying to get you to. Let me be more specific. Are you bringing the Electro Streak?
No.
That's one down. Are you bringing the PBY?
I thought about it. I could if you have a deep desire for it to be there.
Yeah, I saw you flying yours. It looked like it was hanging on by a thread.
What does that mean?
Ooh. A couple of times you dorked in the pond. You gonna try to glue those pontoons on? No?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
might wake up with them glued to your forehead.
It's great. Let's see. What else? Are you
I
bringing
do
one of your
have plans
Parallaxes?
for the pontoons, by the way, because if you'll recall, when we were test flying the Catalina at my pond here, I just taped them on because,
Just taped them
And-
on.
Because why not?
Tip bubble gum, huh?
and that may or may not have been the best approach.
Probably not. Yeah, but I don't think you'd have time. You're going to try to. You said you were going to try to make them removable.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I've got a backup plan in mind. So don't be surprised if that shows up. Or I take the back. Act super surprised and delighted if that shows up. Act doubly surprised if I let you fly it.
I'm gonna find some other friends. All right, anybody else out there want to adopt me? Because I'm looking forward to flying. This guy over here is bringing just whatever.
I will say there's nothing that I will bring that you can't fly.
He's probably going to give me a rental form. Just gonna
With a security
swipe your
deposit.
credit card here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, is there anything else we need to bring? Hats, gloves, suntan lotion,
Well,
bean
I'll say-
bags.
Be prepared for a wide range in temperature. If I recall from my times there, I'm wearing pants and maybe a hoodie in the morning, and then by the time lunch comes around, I'm down to shorts and a t-shirt, and then it goes back to pants and hoodie by the time the sun goes down.
I remember that New England weather.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's crazy you talk about this because I'll never forget Joe Nall the first year we went, and I was not prepared for the 50-something degree weather in May.
Yeah, that was unusual.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's because you were born in Houston. You've always lived in Houston. You'll probably be buried in Houston. There's a big circular. Look at this microphone. This is like our globe, and you're right in the middle of it, where the sun just beats down constantly. So you're not used to these upper parts around here.
Okay.
So anyway, neither was I until a few years ago when I started moving north. But you'll get the hang of it, I promise. So anyway, be prepared. Layer your clothes so that you can shed layers as it gets warmer and add them back as it gets colder.
Shouldn't be cold, but yeah, I'll bring right. I'll check the weather, but
Yeah,
I'll bring some long sleeve stuff, short sleeve stuff,
Yeah.
a hoodie kind of thing.
Well, let's find a Goodwill near the airport. We can go pick up all our gear, go use it, and then drop it back off.
donate again. Yeah,
Yeah, just renting.
yeah. There you go. That's a good idea, actually.
Rent the parka.
Yeah. You asked before about laundry. That question was answered. There are laundry facilities there. So bring quarters for laundry and laundry detergent, things like that. And I would say bring quarters to take a shower, but our cabin actually has a shower in it. So I don't think
nice.
it takes quarters.
30-degree.
The showers last year did not have heat. At least there's two different buildings. The building I used did not have hot water. So
Jeez.
yeah, you take quick showers and yeah. Anyway, so what else should you bring? And you guys are flying in, so really there's not a whole lot.
Bring ourselves.
Yeah, and grab some food on the way in. We actually have a refrigerator handy, from what I'm told.
I forgot. Yeah, did you say there were some food vendors there, or we're going to have to cook our own stuff, or how's that going to work?
The last few years, there's been one food truck there that's kind of their breakfast through dinner. But I'm told the cabin has a kitchen with a refrigerator, so we have the option of bringing some of our own stuff in.
Terry and I did great when we had the kitchen in Muncie.
Yeah,
That was probably one thing that worked out real well there.
yeah,
The stove worked, and we made eggs and sausage and
yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
We did all right.
All right.
So yeah, so we may want to do that again here. Yeah, I don't know. Just bring some cash. There might be good deals that you can't pass up.
And have to pay you to ship it back to us.
Oh God, maybe.
Or just hang on to it till.
Well, the only
Next year?
constraint I have is how to get it back to Green Bay, just because I don't know how much stuff is going to be in my car. But you are welcome to fill any empty space I have. That did not sound right. If there's room in my car, I am happy to transport anything you may have.
See, Terry, what you need is a trailer.
No, I've got one. Well, I've got a yard trailer.
No, like a closed trailer.
Oh,
Or maybe put one of those things on top of your car, those little that little coffin-looking thing.
Yeah, I've got one of those. And actually,
I love that. Make one that looks like a coffin. Even better.
That's the first thing I could think of. Those little arrow. What those
nobody's
storage
breaking into
bins.
that.
Yeah, but it's just like, how often do you see a coffin on the top of someone's chest?
That's the worst hearse I've ever seen.
Okay, it looks more like a photon torpedo.
Yeah. So I ordered one. It's not here yet.
Oh my God, make it look like that.
Yeah. Oh, don't give me ideas. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Someone's out there has done it. Go look it up. I'm sure someone has turned one of those little luggage carriers into a
Don't open it, Spock's
coffin.
inside. Yeah. He was the most human of us.
So apparently, nerds, they make vinyl collapsible luggage carriers now. So you can fold it up when you're not using it, but then you just stuff it full of things and put it on top of your car. I ordered one of those. It should be here tomorrow. And we'll see if I need it or not. But that's maybe a little extra cargo room in case there's stuff.
Just strap it on top.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I've brought things up to you in my trailer. You can kindly return the gesture by taking stuff from Neat back to your house. Just saying. It has to go both ways, Terry.
Okay, I see.
Just saying.
As a friend of mine, Greg, used to say, what good are friends if you can't use them?
Right. All right. So, here's my public commitment to you. I'll get, if you guys buy stuff, I will do my doggonedest to get it back here and then get it to you one way or another.
Thank you.
He's going to bring a saw. It's like, we're going to make this fit. This wing has to go over here.
Yeah.
Some assembly required.
Yeah. So just talk to me before you buy something. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'll take a picture when I'm loaded with all the stuff I'm taking there, because obviously it's all coming back. I'll take a picture and you can get an idea of what kind of volume we're working with. How about that?
Please, have a to-go before you hit the road photo. Put it on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So I have to say, I'm really looking forward to, Terry, you had something?
Well, I thought of one more thing to bring. Bring whatever we need to do a recording there.
All right.
Is that just your little portable microphone recorder thing?
Because I need 3. I'll figure it out.
Okay. What are you looking forward to, Fitz?
Well, this is an event I've never gone to before in a totally different part of the country. It'd be interesting to the people I'm going to meet. Some obviously we know, some we've known only through video or telephone or correspondence, and some people we don't know that we will
As a Texan, I'm worried about all those Yankees up there.
Dang Yankees! Watch it; those are my people.
Well, I was kind of hoping that Jeff Arsenault was going to be there, but he and I've been texting, and he can't make it this year.
Oh no!
That's a bummer.
Too bad.
He's spending his time. Well, he's using the time he would have gone to Neat to go to Europe. So I figured that's okay.
We'll let it go this time.
But no, and let's touch on that for those of you guys who are listening and hopefully going to Neat and get to hang out with us and meet with us and chat with us. And if by some chance we get to record a show, we can have you guys sit with us and talk. We did that. Remember that at Flight Fest at Texas Fitz? We had 8 people sitting with us that one time in the tent. It was a while back.
No, yeah.
Austin was there.
Yeah.
We had, anyway, so, that'd be great to have that. But I think some of us, and I think I'm pointing to that guy and this guy here, may have RC Roundtable swag to bring as well. So look at them for stickers and thingy-bajobs.
I was working on it last night.
All right. See, so should we give him a code word? Fitz is the bomb.
So I'll
code
bring
word
some
kitties.
stickers. I got a few of them. So speaking of Europe, I alluded to this last time, but I'm taking a trip in early October for 2 weeks. I'll be flying into Barcelona, and then so we'll be there for
Barcelona
for a few days.
Sorry.
What? No, go ahead.
Barcelona,
It says,
California.
well, Fitz just said Spain. I was like, no, Barcelona, Sweden. It's like, go ahead.
So I know we'll be in Barcelona for a few days, and we're not renting a car this time. Typically, well, I say typically, my wife and I have been to Europe a couple times before this. And when we did those, we rented a car. So we had a lot of flexibility about where we went and when. But we're not doing that this time. We're going to rely on public transportation to get around. And I'm actually pretty happy about that because a lot less responsibility for me. But if any of you out there know of either like airplane museums we should see or good hobby shops or maybe an RC flying field or something that's not too far out, let us know. Send us an email, contact@rcroundtable.com, and let me know. I'll try to fit in some of that stuff. Like I said, it's me and my wife going, and we're actually going for a wedding. A friend of ours is from there and is getting married there. So we're starting out the trip with that, and then we'll have a week and a few days to kind of figure out what we want to do outside of that.
Any idea if you're going to go to another country or another area?
Barcelona is in the south and kind of close to the French Riviera border.
Yeah.
You got to go over the Pyrenees to get there. So if anything, we might go to France, but I've never been to Spain. And so I think any roaming will be within Spain. But
I think Portugal's near there too, isn't it?
Yep. But that would be north, right?
I'm a little more north, but still not too far away, I think.
Yeah. So apparently there's lots of good train trips to take and some islands not far away that are quick and cheap flights to take. So we haven't figured out exactly yet, but we're open to suggestion. And if anybody's done trips like this and knows certain things that are good to see, then let me know. And you guys haven't been there, I guess.
Never been to Spain. No.
Yeah. All right.
And the other ones, France, Italy.
I've never been to Europe.
Really? Interesting.
Never been.
All right. You would like it.
Had an opportunity right before COVID.
Yeah.
And?
Stupid COVID.
Now, I know your wife has been.
I don't want to go through that Italy trip again.
Yeah, that was fun.
No, it was not fun. Y'all can go look it up. I'm at AirVenture looking for flights to New York to go pick up my sick wife. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. You were preoccupied. We'll just summarize things that way.
I do care about my wife.
But
darn it, why'd she have to get sick in Italy? Anyway.
All right. So what else do we need to talk about tonight?
Well, just friendly reminders of two big events besides NEAT that are coming up. The big, as always, B-17 gathering and Big Bird fly-in at Bomber Field, USA, Monteville, Texas. That's September 17th through the 20th. Fitz and I will be there, and hopefully I'll have my P-38 running because I desperately want to have that flying for the event. But I will try to do I'll probably a little bit more photos and videos this year because I do enjoy doing that. And then 2 weeks after that is BEST at Tri-County Barnstormers in New Waverly, Texas. It's my 23rd year, maybe. Gosh, we have that COVID year that kind of best. It was best-ish, but I've been to all but one. How about that? And that is the first weekend in October. We'll probably show up as we normally do on Thursday. A lot of us come in and try to help out, clean up, and set things up. And Saturday is the day. So if you've got to come and just to visit and hang out with us, please come out and watch the show. Talk with us, hang out with us. We have a great time. It's wonderful. So look that up, Tri-County Barnstormers. And other than that, is there anything else the rest of the year?
Probably.
We'll talk about it after BEST. We'll do a follow-up and see if there's anything else we'll attend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so NEAT, Bomber, BEST.
Yeah.
Hey, Terry, it's happening. Just if we could go back a couple of years, Fitz and I are going to NEAT Fair.
I know.
Can I talk to the young Terry from years ago when we were doing this podcast? What, 8 years ago? You said, y'all ever going to make it to NEAT? And we keep saying, no, we can't make it this year. No, we're making it this year. We got our tickets, man.
Got our tickets. get the rental car. Oh no, I got a beef. It's a good thing you no longer
It's
live in New York.
always something. If it's not one thing, it's another. Here comes Fitz.
All right, my high horse. I think the founding fathers had it right when it came to taxes. There needs to be some blood. There needs to be some retribution. New York taxes, man. So I found a rental car, and I said, "Hey, this is a pretty good deal. It's not too bad." I go to the checkout. Why is it $200 more than what they were quoting me? I look in. It's the taxes, the various taxes they have on the thing. Is add a couple $100 in a rental car. It's like, what the hell? Yeah. That's
and they're doing it with hotels too. Hotels.
This is crazy. This is not like sales tax. This was like, bend over, you're going to get taxed good and hard.
It's not a car rental. It's a tax rental.
It's it's like, I don't know if I want to come back to New York tax kind of thing.
Well, I don't think that is specific to New York. I've been to plenty of other places that have obnoxious taxes.
Yeah, but so this was
I didn't
the poster child for obnoxious taxes.
Yeah. I didn't think you were flying into New York.
Binghamton.
Oh, you're flying into Binghamton too? Okay. Huh.
So right over the border from Pennsylvania. Maybe we should have flown into Pennsylvania.
There's all these car rental shops on the border of Pennsylvania. Over here, we don't have those taxes.
But it's literally like a third of the cost of the rental car is the taxes.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, my water bill is crazy. I mean, I use very little water, so the actual water usage is like $15, but it's the fee for the well water that this community uses is like $50-something every month.
Oh, wow.
That's the minimum. So you have to pay that fee no matter how much.
Well water? You don't have city water?
No, we're not in the city. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And it keeps going up. So every year that fee goes higher and higher and higher. It's like they're trying to make you stop drinking water. Can you just stop using it? Anyway.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion about taxes one night. We'll lose all of our listeners, but we'll...
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted, because I used to live there. So maybe, hopefully Wisconsin's better, because, oh my mother, mercy.
Yeah, it's probably better than New York, but it's... there is income tax here, so you guys in Texas still have that advantage.
We don't have that, but our property taxes make up for it.
Oh, we got plenty of that too. So, yeah.
All right. Now get off my lawn.
Yeah. All right. So
sorry, folks, for boring you about that, but I just wanted to vent. Yeah. But I'll have a rental car. So that damn rental car, I'm going to drive it to the moon and back.
All right.
I'm paying for that sucker. Canada, here I come.
All right. So one more thing about rental car and rental car companies. The last couple of times I've rented a car, which maybe it's been 2 years ago or something. I don't remember exactly. But they gave me this spiel, and it sounded like a new kind of plan where usually you either return it on a full tank or you take it back to them without a full tank, and they charge you some crazy amount per gallon.
Yeah, to fill $5 a gallon or something like that.
Yeah. So they said there's this other plan where it's like $2.75 a gallon, which is cheaper than you could buy it at the pump. And on the surface, like, oh, that sounds great. But the small print on that is they charge you for the full capacity of the tank, no matter how much gas they put in it. So at $2.75 a gallon times 16 gallons, regardless of what they put in there. So you sneaky little devils, I'm on to you.
You drive that sucker on empty, on fumes. You're pulling in.
Right.
Here you go.
I'm pushing it in. Yeah. So anyway. So maybe that's the end of our old man rants for tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Sorry, folks.
If any of you would like to complain about the government or a particular industry, contact at RC Roundtable. We're on your side.
You were talking about museums. Are there any air museums or anything like that near this area?
We won't have time. You might. I won't.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, Fitz, that weekend you fly in, the Rhinebeck Jamboree, I believe, is going on. Ooh. So if you get in early enough, go to Rhinebeck.
Yeah, okay.
And then Elmira, it depends on how far you want to drive. Elmira has the Soaring Museum.
Oh, that's right. I've never been to that. Yeah.
There's got to be other stuff too. I don't know. But what's oh gosh. There's one in my head. I can't think of it. In Pennsylvania around there. When I remember, I'll send you a text. But
okay.
Yeah. So everybody listening, answer this question for us. What museums and aviation-related interests are within a day trip distance of? You're going to be in Connecticut?
Partially, yeah.
Okay. So in the general neat area.
Yeah. Of course, Connecticut has the New England Air Museum up in the northern part.
A good one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good museum, yeah.
And for those of you listening, if you're going to NEAT and you have a P-38 and you let me fly it, I'm giving you $20. There you go. There's the offer. You've made it this far through the show. $20 in your pocket if you bring a P-38.
Psst, kid, I'll give you $20. Let me fly a P-38.
I think that's legally binding. That's a verbal contract. All right. We'll see if anybody takes you up on that. So, all right. So we are rambling, and then
we're rambling. We're done.
Yeah. Fix us.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening to our old man rants and long discussions on cats and cars. Thanks again for listening and watching another glorious-ish episode of the RC Roundtable. Of course, as usual, come see us on our various social media stuff. Press the button, Lee. What do we got? All right, youtube.com at RC Roundtable. If you're listening to this, see us at YouTube's. Also, our Facebook.com/RC Roundtable. We're always posting good stuff to look at and interact with. Like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And, of course, send all the hate mail to Terry, at our contact at rcroundtable.com. We like to read your messages. Read them all. Like I said, we got a great message about flying his plane without a battery. And so keep them coming. We'd love to hear from you guys. Make us feel like we're not talking into the void. Guys, got any last thoughts before we blow this taco stand?
Yeah, I just want to point out that you called me Lee and Lee called me Fitz tonight. So
we're all dumb.
It gives me a little warm spot in my heart. So thank you, guys.
Each other or something.
Yeah, we're indistinguishable.
We're all brothers from other mothers, I guess.
Yes.
We all resemble each other. All right. Well, I guess the next time we will see each other in person, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Next week.
The Three Amigos or the Three Stooges, one of the two. A combination of both. All right, guys. Look forward to seeing you next week and see what kind of trouble we can make at NEAT. And no matter what, I think we'll really enjoy ourselves. And so until next week, well, see you guys later, eh?
Please visit our website at rcroundtable.com. That's where you will find all of our podcast episodes. You can also find a little bit of background information about the show host and leave comments and suggestions about the show. There are links to a few of our favorite vendors and also links to our various social media accounts. Thank you for watching and listening.